Alright. Hey, stream is started. Fantastical. Today, we are going to... we're gonna go do some stuff. Go do my maintenance on my channel. Gaming. Albion Online. Oh yeah, save that. Alright, we should be all good to go there now. So now it's time to go back and do our maintenance on our account, which just means that we need to go ahead and go over to the island, buy the journey, and then we're going over here. Give me my stuffs. Give me my stuffs. And then we go in here and we place them down. Boop. And then we water. Gotta use up that focus. Although something I was using focus on just the other day. So I bought a 4.4 spear. I think this is going to be something I'm going to start doing with each of the weekly weapons if I make enough currency. Where I'm going to go ahead and buy like a 4.4 version of the weapon. To go with my 6 point whatever set. Yeah. So then I should have a nice collection of weapons. Go back to Port Sterling here. So we've moved into 6.1 gear. With our broadsword, and I am really liking the broadsword. I wish that the cleave wasn't such a good skill, because I would like to use the single target attack, but I sort of need the cleave. I feel like maybe not. Maybe I should just use the single target attack because it's just so good in PvP, because you want to be able to keep up with people and really get those attacks in, and you can that way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make the switch right now. Because if you look, the range here is 4 meters, the range here, well, I guess the range is 6 meters. Evil, what's crack-a-lackin', brother? Long time no talk, how are you? Oops, gotta put away my stuffs here. Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie. Well, I guess let's get that out of there. Let's just go sell these. Sell, quick sell. I don't actually give a shit. Sell. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Now, I have been having a really huge problem lately. Where every time I come out into the Outlands, I get ganked by lots of people. But it was the weekend, so I had exams, didn't have time to get on streams. Oh, okay. Cool, how'd your exams go? Did you get good grades? Were you paying attention in class, Evil? Or were you daydreaming about video games? You were daydreaming about video games, weren't you? So hard not to. Better than yours. Good. Good deal. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Bully of Tea. The wind blew harder, bowed it down. You're good at studying? Good. Good for you. I'm terrible at studying. I have a bad habit of getting distracted. Also just not wanting to do it. I find it really hard to make myself do things that I don't want to do. Yeah, this definitely doesn't go nearly as smoothly with the single target attack as it does with the multi-target attack. It does do more single target damage though, and helps me keep up if somebody was like running away. So it's just too important, I think, to have for PvP. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's hard for me to do things I don't want to do. Yeah. But that's okay, because we have wonderful things like streaming, which is something I definitely want to do. I can just do this. All day, every day. Oop, you got killed. I killed you so good. Ooh. 166k with a 4.3x. That 4.3x is actually going to sell pretty quick, which is so good. Y'all are just going to have to deal with the fact that I'm going to sing what's happening in my day all day today, because I am in just a wildly chipper mood today. And not just like I'm generally happy, but like I feel like I have a generally positive outlook just on everything right now, which is weird. It's okay. At some point, 18 people are going to come gank me and totally ruin my good mood. But until then, don't worry. Be happy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in your ear like that. I was trying to move forward, accidentally hit the wrong button. What are all these people doing? I'm so confused. What do we got? We got 6 to 15 in here. Why are there 6 to 15 people? It's the middle of the friggin' workday. All of you motherfuckers need to just go home. Ha ha hee ho ho. Get out of my game so I can make currency without you being in my way. Alrighty then. La da 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 da. La da 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 la da 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 da. Why is this person trying to attack me? I do not understand. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Are they on a team? Is this like a bad situation for me? I think they might be on a team. I'm scared. I don't want to fight two people. I'm so tired of being outnumbered. Yeah, I love it too. The Wellerman is a great sea shanty. It is a great sea shanty. Sea shanties in general are just fun. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Lie in the morning. Oh my goodness, why is everything a freaking resource node? Can we please have some fighting encampments? Pretty please. Oh, for the love of Pete. Okay. I leveled a little bit of tracking. I haven't really been doing any tracking. Oh, there's 16 to 50 people in this zone now. My life is over. If anybody decides to come over here where I'm at. I think they're fighting over this thing, so I don't know. We're just gonna keep going and try and do this one little... like area here. Oh yeah, there's way too many enemies. Let's back it out here. Back it out. I've just been running into a lot more people in the open world, and so tracking started to feel like too much danger. So I got a little bit of it going on, but the last week or so, I feel like there's just been a ton of people out in the open world all the time. And so I've kind of neglected the tracking because of how much it puts you out in the open world. Hey, what's up, Grey Ghost? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. I don't think I've actually seen you in the chat before. But yeah, so what I'm going to start doing, Grey Ghost, is I'm going to start doing a different weapon every week. Yeah, there are solo trackings. Sometimes you need 3 to 4 people, and sometimes you can actually do it solo. At least the tier 4 trackings I was able to do solo. The higher tier ones might be a little difficult though. But you can totally do some tracking solo. But yeah, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to start doing a weapon a week. So every Sunday, I am going to pick a new weapon. Not a new weapon class, but like a new weapon, so like broadsword, claret blade. I'm going to start out, I think, with all of the base weapons for all of the different types. And then once I've gone through each of the base weapons, then we'll start trying out some of the other weapons of each type. But I just want to start working on learning some of the other weapons, because that'll help me in PvP a lot. Because if you know what a weapon can do, because you've played with it and you understand, you know, its attack patterns and its win conditions a little better, then that's a good thing. So we're going to be playing a weapon a week, and at the start, we're going to use up every tome and all of our fame credits to try and get the weapon up as close to 100 as we can on Sunday. And then we'll start working towards getting more fame if we need it, to go ahead and level that all the way up to 100. And then, yeah, we'll move forward from there. Picked up some T3 kits to try out tracking. I kept getting message about needing to be in a group. Yeah, so there are some of them. When you look at them, and I'll show you. Ooh, 500k in there. What's up? Yeah, we're definitely taking all this home. I'll show you when I see one. But there are some of them that are group that need 4+, and then there are some of them that are solo that need 1 to 3 players. So they're actually just like the solo and group encampments of this new dynamic stuff, where some of them are 1 to 3 and some of them are 4+. Nature staff, okay. You know, I've never played any of the staffs, and honestly, staffs will probably be some of the last stuff that I do for the weapon a week, because I'm just not a staff player. I don't like it, like at all. No, the markings are the same. So like this one, if you see here, down in the bottom left, it says group size, 1 to 3. So this is a tier 8 solo track. It might be, actually, they might be different. The tracks might be bigger for the group tracking, because that was a really small track. So yeah, the tracks actually might be bigger for group tracking events. That might be how that works. Well, not the tracks might be bigger. The area of the tracks might cover more. There might be more tracks. That's actually an interesting thought. Let's experiment with that a little bit as we see things here. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Lie in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Why you trying to kill me? No kill. No kill. No kill. I was a healer when I was playing New World, so Nature Staff is kind of my style. Didn't believe there was a different kits for solo and group-like maps. No, there's not different kits. It's just different, different locations.
Welcome, friend.
At least I don't think there's different kits. Like, I could be wrong. Alright, not selling that. And not selling that. A quick sell for a quick 26k here. We're gonna put this up for 149k. We're gonna put this up for 800. What does it say? So 500. Yeah, so we're gonna put this up for, say, 550. And then we'll create that. All right.
My pleasure.
Fudge back out there. Let's get the heck back out there. Show me where we're at here. Tier 8 zone. There's a tier 5, tier 7, tier 7. Okay. Let's go to the tier 5 over here. Another naked. Why are there people running around naked all the time? I don't even understand. Are they scouting for someone or something? I'm not surprised, not everything lasts. Broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping track. Get all worked up, then I let myself down. Okay, well, we're gonna go this way. I don't really care about this chest. Of course, there's only 0 to 5 people in this zone, which is kind of nice. I might actually be able to get that. Lost a bet. Lost a bet on what? I am confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. The naked guys. Got it. Got it. I had already forgotten that we had talked about naked people. I have... When I'm on stream talking, my brain is so focused on what it's going to say next that immediately after I say something, I forget. It's just boop, gone. Let's see, what is this one? This one's 4 to 8 people. So it's not about the number of tracks, it doesn't look like. Because that's a very small number of tracks there. That's too bad, I thought maybe I was onto something. Thought I was onto something. What do you got going on over there? You're just gathering, huh? Out here in your weak sauce little gathering gear. Yeah. Got you. Baby, I've got you under my skin. I am enjoying the sword so much. I am so sad that I never used this weapon before. It is too good. Booyah. All this extra movement speed and stuff you get. Oh my goodness. Like I can't get over it. I feel like I'm just constantly attacking, just pummeling my enemies. Common solo cash. Tome cash. It's the fame. Where's the fortune? I need the fortune. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. By the way, what is your idea about new patch for solo boss layers? What new patch for solo boss layers? Do you mean the most recent one where they added the 3 chests and there are no more enemies? Or is there another patch coming out? I don't really keep up very well with the patches. I probably should, but I don't. I like to just get in there and be surprised, you know? The one with the 3 chests? I think it was a good move. I like it. It gives a better standard. So even though they've reduced the luck or the bonus, the loot bonus here. Hold on. What the heck? Why is it 200? Holy cow. Even though they've reduced that loot bonus, because you're now getting 3 chests instead of 1, I think you're getting a lot more bites at the apple. So I think overall, you're gaining more currency this way. And I think it's much more consistent because, just the way averages work and the way RNG works is the more times you interact with the RNG system, the closer to neutral your RNG becomes. So when you were getting just 1 chest per, you would interact with 3 of these, and maybe you had like a 25% chance to get a decent item, but you were only interacting with 3, so out of those 3 you could get no good items. But here you're interacting with 9 of them, and maybe you only have a 10% chance to get a good item, but you're going at it 9 times. So ultimately your chance of getting that item is higher, and so it brings the average closer to 0 or closer to neutral. And I think that's really good. While RNG systems are necessary because you have to have a time sink, and RNG creates that time sink. Otherwise, we would just be printing items, and we don't really want that. So you have to have some sort of a time sink associated with your loot system. But you don't want that RNG to feel bad. You don't want a person to leave a game session feeling like they had a really bad RNG experience. So you want to make it so that within the hour or so that the average person has to play, their RNG sort of normalizes out. And I think an hour is a good place to do that evening out, because I think that's a pretty good average session time, especially in a game like Albion Online, where things are pretty session-based. Like, you get in, you pick an activity that you want to do for that day, and then you just kind of do that activity for, a trip. So I could come out here to the safe portal, and I could stay out here on this safe portal for, somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour and a half. And in that time, I'm going to maybe interact with, I don't know, 7 of these portals out here, or 7 of these dungeons out here. And the more neutral my RNG is during that time, the better experience overall that I have. If I'm expecting to be able to make 1,000,000 silver an hour, and I come out here, 1 out of every 3 hours that I spend out here, and I only make 200k, even if I have really good hours where I make, maybe 2 mil in an hour instead, it just feels bad during those times when I don't make my expectation. So you want to mitigate that as much as possible for those session-based players, because their opinion of the game is very much going to be associated with their last session. So if yesterday I played for an hour and I only got 200k currency, then I'm going to be much less motivated and find it difficult to find the motivation to play my hour again today. Whereas if I have a really good hour, then I might be motivated to stay on a little longer. But as soon as my luck turns, I stop having that good RNG, then again, that's going to be all I remember. So you might get me, if you have good RNG, or if I'm having a good RNG day because of extreme RNG, then you might be able to motivate me to play for another 15 or 20 minutes. But as soon as my luck turns, I'm logging off. And that's what I'm going to remember when I think about logging on again tomorrow, is that bad RNG. But if I have very neutral RNG, if I get what I expect and I had a good time getting it, then, you know, tomorrow when I go to log on again, that's what I'm going to remember. And so I'll get back on for another hour again tomorrow. So you make more consistent players with more consistent RNG systems. Ooh. Heyo, a legendary solo cache. What's up? I haven't gotten very many of these. 559k. For one of these open world caches, that's an insane amount of currency. So good. Look at all that. Look at all that. Alright, we got one more spot back up here in the corner. Then we'll probably head home again. Hey, what's up, Julia VT? How are you today? Yeah, this one's active. So good. Doo-doo-doo. Good God. Boo-doo-boo-boo. Ba-da-doo-boo, ba-da-doo-boo. Got you. Baby, I got you. Under my skin. You. Oh my goodness, this sword feels so good. I don't know if y'all have ever played with swords or not, but the attack speed feels so right. Can't even get over it. Can't even get over it. Objective complete. Yeah, no, I definitely should have done this weapon a week thing from the beginning. That would have been a great idea. I'm so excited about this. It's definitely going to keep the game nice and fresh for me. It's definitely going to keep me motivated to play more. Just because I don't feel like I'm hitting the same series of buttons that I've been hitting. I mean, even though the buttons are all the same, you're hitting them in a different cadence, you're hitting them in different orders because they're doing different things. Uh, and it just makes you actually have to be paying attention, which makes me feel really good about the combat. So I'm very, very happy to be doing this way. I cannot wait for next week. I don't know what weapon I'm going to do next week. Maybe something I've never done is the Avalonian Fists. So I think I'll either be going with the fists or the staff, the bow staff. I'm going to wait on all the ranged weapons until after I've done all of the melee weapons because I don't play ranged really ever. And the entire play style is totally different. So it's going to be really, really weird for me to start playing with some of those ranged weapons. So I really want to get the melee weapons down before I start worrying about ranged weapons. But yeah. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. Now we just take this stuff back. Because I was getting killed a lot yesterday.
Don't be shy.
Because it was the weekend. So I just didn't pick any up, and then I didn't think about it today, but that's a good point. I should probably grab my gathering tools. La-da-da-da-da-dum. La-da-da-da-da-dum-dum. That is a very, very good point. So let's go to our loadouts. Let's go to our tools loadout. We don't want that one. Buy and equip. Buy. Then we're gonna go to the sickle and get our tier 6 sickle. Buy.
Made a profit?
Say magnifique. And now we have our tools. Thank you for reminding me, Evil. I appreciate it. Show me where we're at. Alright, tier 8 zone, down is a tier 5 zone, tier 6 zone, tier 7 zone. Because we're close to it, I'm gonna go ahead and go over, whoops, to this tier 6 zone. Ooh. Well, we can't pass up an opportunity like this. These aren't worth a ton, but 1,000 apiece at least. I'd say that's worth it. All right. Got 14, got 18K. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. go. No, you don't hit me. Bad rock monster. Rock lobster? Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a towel, and there they found a rock. But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. Na, 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 na. Boom, 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 ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. It is such a weird song. I would have never heard Rock Lobster if it wasn't for one of those Guitar Hero. Oh, it was called Rock Band. There you go. Because you actually had to sing in Rock Band. So that was the one I always played because I'm terrible at playing instruments. But I'm a pretty good singer. So that's always what I did. Please, please move. My goodness gracious. Gotcha, nerd. We got you. Somebody's been here recently. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, and they're still there. Gotta get back some health before I try and fight these fools right here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill the mage lady first. Mage ladies are definitely more of a pain in the butt, in my opinion. Got him. Alright, common solo tome cache. And what do we got here? We got 0 to 5 people. We got a chest appearing in 4 seconds. Let's go see if anybody's at it. Ayo, what's up, Clutch? Oh, somebody already picked it up. That's too bad. I still kind of have to go this way anyway. Just getting them gatherings up, heck yeah. That's to get paid. Nice, good job. Being out here in the black zone is fun. It's frustrating because you die to like 16 people, and that's not fun. But yeah, I figured you meant the boss layers. There's not really any point in doing the regular solo dungeons anymore. It's a big old waste of time. Problem is they can't really increase the rewards for the regular solo dungeons because, you know, they're primarily safe zones. Like, you know, once you go in there and once the zone closes, like you're totally safe. So if they up the rewards for those, then they just become too strong of content to do. So they're really just kind of dead content. They sort of eliminated the usefulness of them completely by adding boss layers, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, right? I mean, solo dungeons have been in the game for a really long time. It's fine for content to kind of go bye-bye. But it is a little sad. Boom, boom, ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. Well, at least I got the enemy I was trying to kill there. I should have killed the Morgana cultist first, but whatever. I don't give a doo-doo. Doobity-doo. Boop. Getting all these chests. I haven't really made squat on this run. Think. Let's see, what is this? 6.0, don't care about that. Think we need to keep looking around and maybe see if I can get a map. I feel like there should be a map. Where is my map? I definitely don't like the idea of going home with only 200k, especially since most of that is my, and I guess we can go down into this other tier 6 zone. I think we might have to do that. Because we definitely don't want to go home with nothing. Hey, what's up, Dullax? How are you today? We got so many different people in the chat today. This is great. I really appreciate it, y'all. I really, really appreciate it. I'm having a great morning so far, thanks to y'all. In a good mood, got lots of people to chat with, playing video games. That's what I'm about right there. Now, if my Claritin would just kick in, and these allergies would go away a little bit, we'd be in the money. Julia, hey, what's up? How are you? Fantastic. I'm having the most wonderful day of my life. So good. So good. How are you all? What are y'all doing? Getting up to anything fun for the holiday? Well, if y'all are from the US, today, or not today, but this week, we're coming up on Thanksgiving. Stream is going fan-freaking-tastic, Julia. We got so many people in here talking today. So many. Don't even know what to do about it. That's not what I wanted to do. No! I let that person kill me. I am ashamed. Do you need logo and banner? No thank you, Julia. We've already had this conversation. I am uninterested. I am from the US. I live in Illinois. No thank you, Julia, and now I have to ban you. Bye-bye. I totally understand the hustle. Those people are just trying to make a living. But I don't want to be asked over and over and over again if I want to buy something for my channel. Yeah, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I also have to do what I have to do. Because that's not interesting for the stream. Nobody wants to watch me get elicited to over and over and over again. The weather in the US right now is super hot. Which is honestly good. Because my heater blower fan, or blower motor, fritzed out right before the winter started, or right before the fall started. And so even though I live in Illinois, and it probably should have been really cold by now, the weather's been pretty mild, so I haven't even needed my heater yet. We've got a motor coming in. It was supposed to come in last week, but the person didn't knock loud enough for me to hear, so I didn't go and sign for it, so they kept it. And they'll try again, hopefully sometime this week, because it is supposed to drop down to 30 degrees later on this week. So I do need to get the motor installed and get the heater back up and running. But yeah, the weather's been pretty nice. We've had a couple of pretty cold days, but nothing below freezing yet. So I feel pretty good about it. I've just been snuggled up in my onesie. I have a really nice, like, fleece onesie that my little brother bought for me years and years ago for Christmas. And me and all my two brothers have matching ones. Well, they're not matching, they're different colors, they're just all the same type. And so, yeah, we now just roll around in our onesies when it's cold. Fantastic. sometimes when it's cold outside and we have to go do stuff, because I don't own like a jacket or anything because I don't really go outside. So I just rock the onesie when we go in public. They're not thrilled about it, but I don't care. I'm warm, and that's all that matters. Yo, I am getting hosed on the freaking engagement zones on this trip out. I've been doing pretty good to this point. I've gotten, I mean, over a mil already. But, yeah, we're not getting squat on this one. We're gonna have to go home pretty much empty-handed. Whether my country is too hot. Where do you live again? I would like to pretend like I could remember where all of you live, but I can't. I'm sorry. The only two people I really know are Khaleesi lives in South Africa and Darkling lives in Australia. But those are really the only two people that I remember. Well, there you go. What part of Africa? Evil Fader lives in Iran. That's correct. Tanzania? Hey. I've heard of that country before. I've never been there, obviously. I've never been to Africa in general. I've actually never been to Europe either. Well, I guess that's not true. I've been to the UAE. I don't know which continent that's technically on. It might be part Africa, part Europe. So I may have actually been to Africa before. I don't even know. It was when I was in the Navy. That's one of the things that I wish I had the ability to do, and that eventually I will do. If this channel really takes off, and I can afford it, I will be traveling the world. I'm not gonna make it, but I'll order it from Zanzibar. I didn't know that Zanzibar was a country. Alright, we didn't make Italy on that trip. That is so depressing. Speaking of soda, and I really want a soda all of a sudden. Ooh. Let's see, sell that. Oops. Sell that. So depressing. Let's teleport back out there. Let's see, where we at? Show me the location. We're in a tier 7, there's a tier 6, there's a tier 8, there's a Morgana's Rest. We're gonna go straight over to the tier 6 zone. Don't really want to be in a tier 7 zone. I do want to check though, how long does this have? 2 minutes? We are going to maybe go swing by there real quick, just to take a peek-see. When did I complete one of these? Travel 3,000 kilometers. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Your kind of love drives a man insane. You stole my will? Oh, what a thrill. But why you stopped playing Once Human? Honestly, dull. It just got kind of boring. I just wasn't able to continue to do the same repetitive stuff over and over again. So I came to a different game to do more repetitive stuff over and over again. Also, I felt like the implementation of their core, not their core systems, but their seasonal systems was pretty bad. The core gameplay loop of Once Human is actually really good, but they're then trying to implement like a gimmick for every scenario, which I think is important and I think is exactly what they should be doing. But their implementation of each of those gimmicks has been really, really bad. Like, makes the game not fun bad. And until they get a handle on that and they start being able to put out better seasonal content, I just am not going to be able to play that game. Like, this Way of Winter scenario was really great, and the Chaos Weavers were cool, and the thermal tower is super cool, and building up your little city around your thermal tower was insanely fun. I really enjoyed it. But then when we went to do our purification, the thermal tower purification doesn't operate the way you think, where enemies come from the outside and try and work their way in. Instead, you have enemies just kind of randomly spawning in the middle of your little city, and then you have to kill them. And because of that, you're not able to focus your defenses as well, which means that the enemies can't spawn as many. So it becomes just this really lackluster event. Whereas if everything spawned outside of all of your bases that are ringing your thermal tower and then worked their way in by killing or by fighting through each of your bases, then there could be a ton of enemies spawning and you could really focus up your defenses, and there'd be lots of communication going on, and people would be zipping around on zip lines going to different places as boss monsters spawned, and you could just have this really, really cool event because people would be able to specifically direct where they're fighting from and where their defenses are pointed. And because when you know where the enemy is kind of going to come from, then you have the ability to pay attention in that direction. So it gives a lot more viability to your preparation and makes your preparation a lot more important. But it also means that because your preparation is more important and because your preparation is more effective, that the enemy can have larger numbers. So instead of being this really lackluster, like, kind of BS event, where, maybe you get 10 or 15 enemies at a time, tops, spawning, you could have 100 enemies spawning, right? The whole server could come over and help out. You could have, things coming from all 4 different cardinal directions. You could have, just all of this really cool stuff going on. And because you would have good defenses protecting you, it could be a really hectic kind of a situation. And that would be a lot of fun. But it wouldn't feel very good to get your base destroyed if enemies were spawning in huge masses inside the middle of your base. If enemies spawn in the middle of my base and then just start destroying things because none of my defenses are there, then I don't feel like I had any agency there. I don't feel like I had an ability to defend that. And so it just wasn't fun. Nope. There are 16 to 50 people in here. I am not dealing with that. Not freaking happening. Oh, now we've got all these people here who are also probably going to try and kill me. And because there's 6 to 15 people here, these people likely have teammates. But then the same thing happened with the scenario before that, where we had people who were so we had the PvP scenario that came before, and in that PvP scenario we had similar issues where the crisis events that we were using to gain the prism enemies or the prism deviations for the event, the crisis events were too short, so there wasn't any counterplay there. And then the tracking on the map was really bad, so you couldn't track where your enemies were. So you couldn't, chase them down and fight them in transit. So it basically just become this, like, slaughter. Whoever managed to lock down the spawn point of the crisis event would just slaughter everybody from the other team who came to try and do anything, because there's only one spawn point in the crisis events. And so the minute you throw down a couple of words are hard, but the minute you throw down a couple of the portable minigun turrets, then you totally lock down spawn, and so nobody can come and contest the crisis event, and then you just win by default. And it's just really not fun. And then, you couldn't chase people down. Like, we could have had an opportunity to be chasing people down in trucks with mounted Gatling cannons and stuff like that, with people driving them or riding on them, shooting mounted Gatling cannons. We could have had, like, this whole Mad Max thing going on. But you didn't get a chance to do any of that because the developers just didn't make it happen correctly. They just did a really bad job with that particular system. Alright, I'm having a really hard time getting into a place to actually get some resources here. Get some currency. Everywhere I'm going, there's just too many people. There's 6 to 15 here as well. This is a tier 7. We got a tier 6 zone down here. We got a tier 7 zone up here, tier 6 zone there. I think we're going to try and go down here, since I'm kind of right next to it. Let's see when this is going to open up. 7.4 opens in 7 hours. Unfortunately, I couldn't gather that even if I wanted to. Yeah, so, I mean, I really need once human to have better mechanics. And for their dev team to just have better forethought. Oh my goodness, am I already being chased down by a gang squad? This is ridiculous. I literally just came in here. You must be joking. This has to be a joke. It is a joke. For sure it's a joke, right? Did they decide not to follow me through? That's funny. My goodness. This is what I'm talking about, though. Why are there so many people out here all the time? This is starting to get ridiculous. Whatever. Guess we're doing a tier 7 zone. Okay, well, I don't want to aggro that stupid archer. Okay, I was definitely outside of that. Okay, yeah, that's definitely part of that gank group too. From the last zone, for sure. No, we've only got 0 to 5 people, never mind. It's not. Of course, it is a bear paws. So... You think I'm just gonna let you sit here and fight all this stuff, dude? You try and fight this, I will just kill you. I don't actually have to do anything. But just stand here. Be in your way. But you better run. Alright, well, they're almost certainly gonna come back. But whatever. Oh no, they definitely just ran away to make it look like they were leaving, so that they could come back while I was fighting and kill me. That's definitely what happened. Yep. Oh no, different person. And they dismounted. I feel like I want to fight this person. Bye-bye. Goodness. All right. Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, as long as it's that they're always active. I have to remember that. Just maybe not go in that zone. Because I'm okay at this game, but I'm not fight off 6 gankers good. I can barely kill people that are equal power to me good. Hey, 113k out of that chest. Nice. Very nice. Maybe I'll have to figure out. We rode out there from the Sterling portal? Dang. I don't even leave from the portal cities anymore. I always use the safe. But I'm always by myself, so. Alright. Let's see if we can get some more monies. Gonna get some more monies. Or not, because all these are going to be inactive. That's fine too, I guess. I'll just go F myself then, game. That's what you want. That person is naked, which tells me that they are there scouting something. Maybe this? Perhaps? Perhaps. I don't really know. We're back up to 6 to 15 in this zone, though. Which makes me a little weary. Ooh, I wish I could get that 7.2. That's just a plant or a tree node there. Alright, well this little node here, most of the zones up there were 6 plus. We even ran into a 16, yeah. Yeah, things up here are getting pretty cray-cray. Right. Need to eat another food here. Haven't been keeping up on my food very well at all. Yeah, I just can't keep up with armor, only a 600 item power. This person is definitely with some other people. They're trying to, like, trick me into something. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna fall for it. I'm gonna get tricked. I'm not gonna go chase you, dude. Not gonna go chase you. I honestly should not stay here. I'm definitely about to get ganked on by a bunch of people. But I want this map. I want this map so very bad. Oh, okay. Well, I need to get my health back before I fight this person, even if they're only 600 IP. It's important to have lots of health. You're gonna fight somebody. All this person's really doing is interrupting my ability to get this map, which is really very annoying. Which is why now I'm going to execute them. Just had to happen. I don't know if they were just dicking around or... I mean, everybody just saw that death go up on the minimap. So now people know that, like, there's a fight going on over here. Which means that because we have 6 to 15 people, the gank group is probably going to come over here and kill me. Which is less than ideal. But maybe, just maybe, I can get this map done and get this chest before they get over here, if they come over here at all. I'm not really risking a whole lot because, you know, I haven't really picked up a lot yet, so I think it's worth it just to go through and try and get these things taken out and get this map picked up. I don't have a ton of time because another enemy is going to spawn on this map fairly soon because of that person's interruptions. So I just need to try and get this done quick and get the map. Nice, right as that enemy spawned too. Perfect timing. Alright, and we get our little blue chest, which had like 300k in it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There were so many times where I've been about to bail on this zone because I'm just running into too many people in too many groups, and there's too many people in the zone. And it's a high level zone because it's a tier 7, and I don't really want to be in a tier 7 zone in my current gear because I just lose a little bit too much health. But I'm glad that I stuck it out because now I've got this map. I already picked up about 300k in that chest there. So if I get anything even decent with this boss layer, we're going to be in the money pretty good on this run. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy. I am a little bit worried about the enemies we're going to run into. And maybe somebody coming in here and killing me while I'm waiting. But that's okay. Just gotta stay vigilant. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Couple 100K worth. What's up? I'm so confused by the fact that this person just ran around and got themselves killed. I really don't know what happened. Hey, good night, Dullex. Thanks for stopping by and saying what's up. Always love having you in the chat. Sweet dreams. Dream a little dream of me. Hey, is this the purple? No, just blue chests. That's too bad. Booyah. Hey, another 102K out of that chest. 26K out of that chest. And 17K out of that one. Almost 150K. That's a good deal. Out of a blue chest set. In only a quality 2 zone. Think it's time to head on home. Oop, what did I sell here? Adept's dual swords for 45K. Please and thank you. And back home we go. Oops. Press the wrong button.
I have lots to trade.
Alright. Click, click. Boom. Oh. Gotta repair all this person's gear, whatever, we'll repair all. Okay, quick sell again. Don't want to sell that. Don't want to sell that. That. Okay, that's it for me tonight. See you. Yeah, Evil. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by and saying what's up. Hope you have a great day.
My pleasure.
All right, away we go again. So steady as she goes, steady as she goes. What kind of zone are we in here? We're in a tier 7. I think I actually want to go ahead and go up to Deepwood Dell instead of going and doing the tier 7 zone. I can clear the tier 7 zone, obviously. We just cleared that last tier 7 zone. But it does just put you at greater risk if you're not well above the IP requirement to be able to beat the zone. Because then you just end up losing more hit points, and then even weaker and weaker people can come and sneak up on you and get you down. So it's just best to fight in zones where you can mostly kill the enemies without too much concern. So tier 5 and 6, when you have, tier 7 or 8. And then honestly, I wouldn't even do tier 8 zones until I was rocking all the way into like 8.3. Just because, you really just don't want to be losing too much health. Let's get this 4.2 stone here. I do already have my 20% on my stone. But we're going to go ahead and get this anyway. Maybe we can save ourselves a couple of learning points when we eventually start tearing up stone. We're going to be tearing up stone right after we tear up fibercraft or fiber gathering, because the area that I'm in uses fiber, stone, and ore as its primary gatherables in all of those snow zones. And that's the primary biome of this region. So that's what I'm going to mostly focus on, is being able to collect those so that when I go into those tier 8 zones, I can just gather everything up. And that will significantly increase my income. And that increase in income is going to be a big part of being able to equip higher tier gear and being able to go into those higher tier zones. Because you need the ability to equip that higher tier gear in order to go into those zones, because you want to be safe, but you need to be able to gather the higher tier materials when you're going into those zones, because they can represent such a huge part of your income. And you need lots of income. That person jumped off their mount there. Perfect. It looks like they weren't coming after me. I'm not really sure why not. Yeah, but if you're not utilizing everything you possibly can to try and gain income in the higher tier zones, then you're just going to end up losing currency, because you're just going to be leaving money on the table, and you are going to get killed, right? That just has to factor into your equation. You're going to get killed probably pretty frequently if you're solo. And so you just have to recognize that. And so you have to be doing whatever you can to gain as much currency as you possibly can, so that even though you're dying, you're gaining more currency per hour than you would if you weren't in those higher tier zones. And that's very difficult, because, you can make like $1 mil an hour gathering in blue zones. So in order for anything out here in the black zone to be worth it, I need to be able to make like 1.5, 2 mil an hour, which honestly I'm not even doing right now. Um, Honestly, I'm losing currency most of the time while I'm out here in the black zone, and so a lot of that is my own personal skill. A lot of that is identifying when I'm about to get hit by a gank squad and bailing out of an area. And I'm getting better at that, and I'm dying less, and I have actually been making progress recently. Um, Although on the weekends, it's especially hard because, there's just everybody online on the weekends. And so you end up with a pretty big problem. I think Wednesday and Thursday are probably the lowest population days. So those are probably the best days for making currency and coming out here and really getting crazy with it. But we'll see. We shall see. Can't believe we've almost been going for 2 hours already, an hour and 40 minutes on this stream. That's just freaking fantastic. I can't thank you all who get in the chat enough. Because it just makes time fly for me. I just have so much fun. There's people to talk to. Cannot thank you all enough. I know you all got lives. A lot of you have me on as background noise and stuff like that. I get that. And I do appreciate the lurking and the watching and all that stuff. But just for my ability to be entertaining, the people who get in the chat and say stuff are probably one of the most valuable resources I have for making this stream good. Because I'm just, I'm a performer. And when you are performing, when you get feedback from your audience in the form of questions, in the form of laughs, in the form of comments, in the form of anything, as a performer, that's the stuff that really jazzes up your energy and keeps you going, makes you more entertaining. And that's why I love live theater and stuff so much. I don't know how film actors do it. Because without that constant positive feedback from the audience when you're actually doing a show, I don't know that I could be that animated and that active for an entire, multiple months worth of going through and hitting all of those lines and, going through all the motions and doing all that stuff just over and over and over again without any audience feedback, without any laughs, without any of that stuff. Just going through and doing it off of your own internal motivation alone. Of all the skills that film actors have, I think that's probably the one that's most impressive to me, is being able to act without an audience. Being able to have the energy and the animation that is just required. I don't know if I could do it. It's why my channel doesn't have very many videos, like long form content, because again, it's the same thing. It's all this prep work, all this stuff, and there's just no feedback while you're doing it at all. And so it becomes very difficult to stay motivated to continue. And it's just a totally different skill set to be able to go through and create content like that. To be able to delay that gratification of audience interaction until, sometimes weeks after the video has been posted. I just do not have that skill. I need my laughs and I need my interaction. Right meow. Right meow. Did I ever check this one over here? I don't even know if I did. It looks like whichever one I had previously done has also been... Why are you following me around? You're a gatherer. What do you think you're doing? Oh, that's what you're doing. Silly geese. Oh my goodness. So many of you nerds. That's okay, because I am obviously better than y'all. That was a sad attempt. Oh my goodness, y'all just got dunked on so hard. Oh my gosh. Uninstall, bro. Uninstall. Holy cow, that was funny. Can't even catch up to a person on a riding horse level 3. That must just feel awful. Almost feel bad for him.
Honest prices.
Silly nerds. I wish that I had seen what their guild was so that I could shit talk them in the global chat.
Stay honest.
Maybe they'll see this video though. If any of y'all see this, I want you to know that your whole guild is trash. Just the whole thing. Y'all should just quit. Okay, well it looks like I've already cleared this zone, so there ain't no point in coming in here. Alright, let's go out again. Thankfully, I'm in fairly cheap gear, so going back and forth through these portals doesn't really affect me negatively, like it could. Alright, we got a tier 6 zone over here. Hopefully, doesn't look like I've been in here yet. I don't remember that zone today. So let's go over there and head out. We've got 6 to 15 people in the zone we're in right now. Wow, I have not had very many zones with 0 to 5 people today. And we are not in prime time. It's not even 3 o'clock Central Time yet, which means it's not even 4 o'clock Eastern. Which means everybody is mostly still at work. I guess we are kind of nearing the holiday here in the US. So it's possible that some people have maybe taken a whole week off. You know, students are probably out of school this week. Or at least some of them are maybe out of school this week, going on vacations and stuff to visit family. So I guess it's possible there just aren't people who have normal day-to-day responsibilities today or for the rest of the week. But I gotta tell you, I'm not enjoying it. Not enjoying it at all. Just a little bit too few people out here for me. Alright, we're 6 to 15 again here. Let's go see what's up. Hey, we got a map. Got a map. Nice. Tier 4 body armor. He's got on body armor. He's got on body armor. I can see his head. Shoot him in the head. You gonna start following me around too there, bozo? Ooh, there's another map. I don't want to try and juke this map from this person. 1300 in curse staff though, and I'm just generally bad at killing people with curse staffs. I think I'm gonna have to let that map go. Let that person take that while I come and do my boss lair. Boop, boo, doop, boo, doop, boo. All right, waiting our 90 seconds here. I am really, really enjoying the broadsword. I prefer the cleave ability to this single target skill. I probably won't prefer the cleave ability to the single target skill when it comes to fighting in PvP, which is why I really need to use this single target skill because it's just better in a PvP situation. It helps you keep up with the enemy, helps you stick to them. It's a very sticky skill because, I mean, 3 seconds, it's pretty hard to get too far away from a person who has a move speed buff because of their charges in 3 seconds. So let's eat my stew here. That's my last stew. I got 3 poisons left. This next time we go in, ooh, this is the boss that has purple chests. The next time we go back to town, we're gonna go ahead and buy some more. potions or poisons and foods and other whatnots. Can we? Got him. Voodoo. 72k. That was weird. And 120k. Nice, nice, very nice. And another 100k. Hey, that was 300k in there. Worth. Freaking worth. Now it's time to go see if this person took this chest over here, or this map over here. I imagine they probably did. But you never know. Maybe something happened. Maybe they died. They did not. They took the map. What a butt fussy. No, thank you. Let's whack these people. Bring them over here. Oops. Okay, I was not inside the little red lines. That's bullshit, ref. Stop lighting everything on fire. What is wrong with you? Freaking pyro? Pyromaniac. Gonna gain a little health back here before I really start mashing on these folks. Hopefully these last two enemies right here are enough to open up that chest for me. Okay, surely that's enough, right? Yelling the Lancer dude. Zap, zap, zap. And it's just a common tome cache. That's alright. We need some tomes. Tome to tome, tome, tome. So all I did was check this one before before I got my map that brought me over here. So I need to go check these other two over here. Then maybe run around like the rest of this area looking for a map, because this top half is really sparse as far as potential engagement zones. So it's possible that people don't go up there a lot. And so maybe there's just like maps up there waiting to be grabbed. At least that's the crazy thought that goes on in my brain that tells me what I should be doing. So we'll go check that out. Ooh. Ooh. 2 6.2 ore nodes. Isn't that exciting? In case you didn't know, it is exciting. That is exactly what it is. I kind of want to go fight this person. Oh, come on. Fight me. Fight me. Boop. Well, 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 well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Nice fight. GG's. GG's indeed. Well, that's just a gatherer. They're probably not going to be a problem. Whack. Whack. Whackity, whackity, whack. I did mess up a little bit in that last fight. I ran away before using my E, my Mighty Blow. The Mighty Blow uses up all of my charges to do extra damage. Then I ran away and I lost all my charges. So my Mighty Blow, when I ended up finally using it, didn't have a lot of charges on it. So it didn't do nearly as much damage as it could have, which made it not really good. if I had used my mighty blow and then used my root and then run away, then things would have probably gone better for me. Because I just would have done so much more damage. Ooh, this is a rare chest. I'm actually kind of sad that that person didn't get this chest before I killed them, because that might have been worth quite a bit to me. 329k? Oh my goodness. Okay. Gotta get rid of some stuff, gotta get rid of that. Gotta get rid of that. Gotta get rid of that. We want that, and that, and that. Get rid of that. We want that. Okay. Thank you, random enemy. For being in my flippin' way. Want that. Still 90k in here. I think I left like 20k in there, which is fine. I don't really care. I've got a little over 1 million on me. It's time to bounce. I don't feel like killing those enemies again to try and pull another 20k out. Okay. 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 I don't know if y'all have ever seen that Kevin Hart stand up where he talks about that person when he went horseback riding. That shit is hilarious. You know, I kind of want to go in a wisp too. One of them will-o-wisps. I'd really like to get an Abbey. I'm gonna check on this spot right here real quick. There's 0 to 5 people here. Ooh. Yo, what up, Quizza? How are you today? What are you getting yourself up to? Now there's 6 to 15 people. There's a map here, though. My goodness. I almost feel like I have to do it. I do have to do it. It's got to be done. Has to be done. Still sleep early nowadays and wake up at 5 a.m. Well, that's good. Ain't nothing wrong with falling asleep early. As long as you're getting sleep, doesn't matter when you get it. But I definitely know how that feels. I have a really hard time staying on a 24-hour schedule. I tend to want to stay up for about 18 hours a day and sleep for about 10. And so, since I've been streaming at the same time every single day for months now, what ends up happening is I end up staying up late and then only getting, 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and then falling asleep early the next day to kind of catch up so that I end up staying on the same schedule. But for a lot of years, my schedule used to rotate over time. And so would end up just cycling through where sometimes I'd be going to sleep at a normal time, like at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, and waking up at a normal time. And then sometimes I would be going to sleep like at noon and then waking up at dark. And it annoyed the crap out of people that I lived with at the time. But I definitely understand rotating schedules. Well, I didn't actually hit the enemy there. Good job. Good job, Hermit. You are so good at this game. Alright, we got our map. We need to kill some more enemies here. Can't believe I missed that. Alright. Gonna save up a little more health. We're gonna fight these enemies, kill them. Kind of feels nice to wake up early. It does. It does. It feels like you got the whole day ahead of you. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that just, you know, everybody in the world is kind of up at that time. And so being awake, oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. You're not going to be able to get me. There's no way. No fudging way. What a load of bullshit. Sitting right there in the middle of 3 enemies and he didn't get attacked. That's freaking garbage, dude. Freaking garbage. What a load of crap.
Shy.
That's so aggravating. Alright. Well, it's food time. So if y'all give me just a couple minutes here, I'm gonna go get something to eat real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, we back. Still gotta eat my food, but I'm here. Talking to my older brother while I was in the kitchen. Forgot that I was streaming. But my brother just told me that he is actually in the top 3 on TFT on Double Up right now. Which I gotta tell y'all, makes me feel so bad about myself. My two brothers are so much better than me at video games. TFT is the auto battler for League of Legends. And Double Up is their team system. So you're on a team of 2 instead of just by yourself. TFT stands for Team Fight Tactics. Yeah, it's a game mode inside of League of Legends, but it's not a MOBA like League of Legends. It's something totally different. It is an auto battler game. But my older brother has always been really good at deck building. So we played a lot of like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. And he even plays Pokemon now. But he's just always been like a savant at making decks and stuff for things. So he's really good at things like TFT and stuff like that. I am very proud of him. I have not. My older brother did. He got an invite or got accepted to the beta or whatever, and has been playing some of that as well. He said it's really cool. Those types of games aren't really up my alley. I've never been very good at strategy. I'm kind of the kind of person where if I have a problem that needs to be overcome, just smash my face into the problem over and over and over again until it gives up. And that's just not compatible with strategy gaming.
Come again. Welcome, friend. Made a profit? Buying or selling? everything?
There's a really good streamer, Criparian, who has been streaming Bazaar. And I've been watching that dude forever. Um, but he's really interesting to watch. So if you're interested in that type of content at all, you know, even if you don't like to play the games, if you like to watch them, it's definitely a good option.
Deal.
Yeah, when we were kids, we would play things like Final Fantasy Tactics or, you know, just old school turn-based RPG. Because, you know, that's the era I grew up in. And those games made it where you basically had to have a healer, right? If you didn't use a healer, then you were just going to die all the time. And I never ever used a healer. And so I died all the time. My brothers used to make fun of me all the time. But I just can't do it. I just want to punch things in the face. Yeah, but I don't understand anything of the game. I don't understand what they're doing or what's happening, so there's no point for me. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. They have an understanding of the meta that goes well beyond what I will ever have. And so they just start doing things and making assumptions that don't make any sense to me. Like, what do you mean you can assume that this player is doing this based on that one thing that they did? What are you even talking about? I didn't even know that was a possibility in the game. But that's fine. I don't mind. You can't be good at every type of game. Oh, I've already done this zone. Ain't that about a biatch? I think it's maybe time to start going into some mists. I'm running out of tier 5 and 6 zones to do over here. So it might be mist time. Yeah, I just need to stop doing these tier 7 zones. I'm just not quite strong enough to make them efficient. And it's just going to lead to me dying more. I need to get into like 7.1 or 8.1 gear if I want to come do these really easily and efficiently. And there's no point in doing them otherwise. So let's see if I can't find myself a mist. And we'll maybe go do a mist. Because that'll be fun. I like mists. And now I have a soda pop. Chicken pie, chicken pie, chicken pie pie. Do love me a soda pop. 1 bottle pop, 2 bottle pop, 3 bottle pop, 4 bottle pop, 5 bottle pop, 6 bottle pop, 7 bottle pop, pop. Don't throw your trash in my backyard, my backyard, my backyard. Don't throw your trash in my backyard, pop. In Stalker 2, there's a bug where a random spawn of rats just start chasing you across the map, even if you reload. It can kill you when you sleep or even during cutscenes, and it will never stop. That's awesome. Is it a bug or is it intentional? That sounds like a throwback to old school Zelda games, where if you killed or if you attacked a chicken too many times, then a flock of chickens would chase you around and kill you. So it might be a throwback to something like that, and it might be intentional. Like, do you run around killing rats and stuff? The game might just be trying to tell you not to be such a jerk. Oh, I heard a wisp. Where is it? There it is. Let's go in the wisp. It's a bug. Apparently I searched the forums. Didn't kill them, I just ran away from them, and then they just keep spawning everywhere. That's freaking hilarious. Well, I hope they turn it into a feature. I hope there's like a way to trigger it in the future. Like fix the bug, and then make an enemy that's like the Rat King or something like that. And if you kill the Rat King, then all the rats come after you. I feel like that would be hella dope. I mean, stuff like that just deserves to be added as a permanent feature of the game. You want to have stuff like that get added in so that the OG players, you know, have stories and stuff to tell. So that when people talk about, oh, I killed this Rat King, and then la 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 la, something crazy happened. And then instead of just in-game lore, you have meta lore that goes with your game as well. People can be like, oh yeah, no, so what happened was when the game first launched, there was this bug, and because of that, now there's this enemy called the Rat King, and like, I feel like meta lore is just so much fun in video games, and it doesn't have to be, you know, online games. Meta lore can exist in single-player games as well, because of things like bug fixing and stuff like that. So I think it's very, very important that not only do you fix those things, but you try and preserve the experience inside of your game so that people can look back and talk about that stuff. Oops, somebody picked up this blue wisp over here. I wonder where it's sending them. 1240. The 6.1. I'm pretty close. I feel like we should fight this person. Ooh, no. I hate getting third. I tried to run away when we were going to get third partied so that that person and me didn't die to the third party. And then they kept chasing me down so that that person could come and third party us. I tried to save that person from getting third partied, and they just had to go and keep fighting. Alack and alas.
Have a look.
Prices went up. Mm-hmm. Well, still cheaper. Guess we're buying it.
My pleasure.
I should probably figure out what build I want to use next week and then just put in a buy order for like 15 of them. I also need to maybe consider using a different skill here. Like this, splitting slash is great. But what else is there? Iron Will, rush into battle, increasing your move speed and defense. Grants immunity to purges. Applies 1 heroic charge. Each heroic charge increases your move speed and attack speed. That's actually pretty decent. Parry strike. Enter a defensive stance. So this is really good for other swords. Hamstring. Attack the targeted enemy, dealing 300 physical damage, slows by 25%. Having at least 1 heroic charge enables the next combo. Leap towards the targeted position, dealing lots of damage, consumes 1 heroic charge. Splitting slash, interrupt. Bash the enemy with your sword, interrupting the spell casting. Increases auto attack damage by 20% for each heroic charge on you. Stacks up to 3 times for 5 seconds. That's actually pretty interesting. And Blade Cyclone, spin in the targeted direction, dealing 154 physical damage up to 3 times to all enemies you pass through. If at least 1 heroic charge is active on you, the ability will consume 1 charge, dealing 231 physical damage each time instead. The Witcher 3 did that. Players started exploiting cows for making coins, and the devs added a big monster that's going to spawn and kill you if you kill too many cows. That's awesome. That's exactly what you should do. For sure. Stuff like that is important to a video game. Stuff like that is very important to a video game. Is this the zone I just was in? Where the hell am I? I guess I was just in this zone? I don't even know. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. Every single fucking time. I hate this game. I hate this game so much.
Welcome, friend.
No, I can't. Why is this 260,000 over now?
See you later. Honest prices.
The auto buy system in this game is
Got everything?
such garbage. There are too many possible different things that go into what makes an item that specific item, like quality and enchantment and all that stuff. Oop, I didn't buy tools, so there's no point in killing that, because I am a fucking moron. I don't understand how I keep telling myself that doing things is gonna get me killed, and then I do them, and then I die, and then I do them again, and then I die again. Like just the dumbest person literally on the face of the planet. It is impressive. This is 100% of the reason that I'm bad at video games. Why is there no... There's no chest here right now. These enemies are still here, but this area is no longer active. Holy shiznit. Wow, I went from just having a great day to just being so angry. So fast. I do not do well with repeated failure. Do not do well at all. Which is really unfortunate, since I insist on playing video games that I'm bad at. Such a bummer. Such a freaking bummer. It's alright though. Got our little boss slayer over here. We'll get something good out of it. That'll make me happy again. That's all that matters. One of the positives about being super moody is that even though it doesn't take very much to put you in a bad mood, it doesn't take very much to put you right back in a good mood either. Alright, we should be good to go. Let's get it done. Gonna kill this boss and get some stuff. Gonna kill this boss and get some stuff. Hey, and it's the purple boss. Yay! Oops, did those skills backwards. Got him. Give me my purple chest with 145k in it. Yeah, 145k. There's another one with 80k. Give me something else real good with another 61k. It's almost 300k. Super dope. Alright, that was just ore. We want to go all the way to the bottom here. Hopefully we'll see another map on the way. Because I want maps. I want maps. Mappy, mappy, map. I want maps. I can't believe I'm down like 1.5 mil right now on the day. It's so freaking pathetic. So freaking bad at video games. Well, poop. That's not an active encampment. Well, poop. Why? Why are they always gathering zones? Just stop it. Just stop it. Give me my encampments so that I can go about my day making currency. What are you two idiots up to? This person isn't gonna leave me alone, are they? Dum. Booyah. Killing enemies. Killing enemies. Here. Get your butt back over here. Killed them. Hmm. And we have two of these obnoxious enemies. Right. Come this way. I'm not going to fight you in the hole. Oops. Forgot which skill I had, and I accidentally saw a person down there. Mount back up. Yep. There's two of them. But they're fighting, or they're coming to kill me. Thank goodness. Got the chest and didn't die. What do we got going on in here? 387k? That's probably enough for the trip back. That's 10 times the amount that it costs me to come out here, so I think it's worth it. Take it back, come on back out again. Definitely worth it.
Buying or selling?
And let's go sell all this stuff.
Made a profit?
Alright, we're in a tier 5 zone. Nice. Tier 5 quality 5. Very nice. We are definitely going to be sticking in this zone for a while. And seeing if we can find some maps and some other stuff. We've got 6 to 15 people here, which is kind of scary. Especially because it's a high quality zone. There's a decent chance that that is a gank group, maybe a group that owns the zone. So we may have to be kind of careful here. We shall see. So I don't like how close to the enemies these jump attacks take you. Because I like to keep my distance, and that's kind of a good thing even in PvP, is to kind of be keeping yourself at your maximum attack range, so that you can be bouncing in and out if need be to try and avoid attacks or, break the enemy's timing. And so when you do these jump attacks and they automatically take you in to like this super close range, I think that's really bad. It's great if you're chasing people, I guess. That's really the only situation where you want to be getting that close. And since you already move faster than the enemy, because you're getting your heroic charge, I think it's a really negative thing for the weapon to be getting all up inside of somebody like that. I would like to see that maybe changed to where it just hits at the maximum range. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be that way so that it is a detriment to the sword. Because maybe they think that the sword is just generally too strong and that's a decent way to nerf it, is to force it to stay in combat even when it's losing. I don't know. Don't really know. Something I do know is I need to eat my freaking food. I'm just losing out on 15% damage here. Or I guess 13.5. Alright. Nothing but tomes so far, which is unfortunate. We definitely want to get us some chests. If I can get a purple chest out here in a quality 5 zone, where we've got 260% loot, I like it. I like it. I really like this spinning attack for PvE for these group things really well. I don't know how well it's going to do in PvP. It seems like it's good to help with the chasing. Something that I didn't like about Root is that I felt like I had to save it. And I don't really feel like I need to save this one. If I'm slightly out of range, then this skill is just a really good way to get back into range. So it doesn't make me feel like I need to be hanging on to it or anything like that, or like there's a special time to use it. I do need to make sure that I have at least one heroic charge when I use it, because it'll consume a heroic charge to do significantly more damage, which is really good. So I think just as an overall damage ability, it's just really going to boost my damage output here, which is great. Whoops. Oh, I already got the thing open. Okay. Cool, cool. Cool. Hey, a blue chest. Nice. With 81k in it. Very nice. Very nice. You just turned a Szechuan chicken into a live chicken. You're very good. Alright. Aw, green chest, sad day. Super sad day. But that's alright. We just keep going. Killing more stuff and getting chests. Really want to get another map, because maps are the coolest. There's nothing in there. Now we go across. So many bridges. Let this zone be active. Come on now. You suck. Because this zone is such a high tier or a high quality zone. I think I'm just going to stay in it. I guess I could go over here. Oh no, that's only quality 3. Yeah, because this is such a high quality zone, I think I'm going to stick in it for a little while. And just kind of wander around looking for maps. And yeah, see if maybe I can get some luck that way. Because out of these 4 zones that I didn't get any maps. That kind of makes me sad. But if I just keep cruising around here, maybe I'll bump into one. Because for a quality 5 zone, there should be quite a bit of potential loot in those maps. Especially if I can get like a purple boss or something like that. That would be pretty great. So I just want to kind of wander around to look for maps for a little while here. See if I can't get one. Oh, you know what? I don't think I ever checked this spot over here either. I think I might have missed it. But we definitely want to go over there and look at that and see if it's an active encampment. And if it is, then maybe we'll get something good. Stupid freaking frogs. Get off me. No, it's not active. Why do you hate me, game? Thought we were friends. Sounds like somebody's fighting something. At least it did. I don't know. Don't know what happened. I didn't see any nameplates. Oh, there's a dead person. Bro. Ooh, hey. Map appeared in one of the zones I already completed. Very nice. What am I doing? I actually want to do that. Come over here, Mr. Angry. Mr. Angry Face. Oop. Ah, you missed. I think I have a decent chance of actually winning this. Nope. This person has friends. Oh, you motherless. Every single freaking time, dude. That person was so much higher item power than me. And I was beating their ass. Even from a huge, huge hit point deficit. Oh my god. Such a freaking joke, dude. I need to do something with all these. This is hilarious. That is so frustrating. I freaking had that guy. Despite being almost 100 IP lower than them, and at about half health when they started killing me. I beat the snot out of that person. Oh, man. Yeah. So, as much fun as I enjoy, or as much as I enjoy those encampments out there, and as happy as I am that they made some solo content in the open world, and that they're trying to make better better content in the Outlands, they made a huge mistake by making these encampments, and that is that they have created a system to draw solos into the Outlands, but they haven't given any way for solos to not just die to groups. So you're basically just drawing solo players out into the Outlands to be food for the guilds. Because the guilds are complaining that there's not enough stuff going on in the Outlands, because they run around in huge mobs of people just slaughtering everyone, and that's not any fun. And so they complain and they complain and they complain, and the Outlands die and die and die. And then you create this content where it's the best currency you can possibly make as a solo, and so you're extremely incentivized to go out there and do it. But then you literally just become food for the guilds, because they just run around in big gank groups and they know where you're going to be, because that's where the content is. It's right there on the mini-map. You can just see it and go there. And so you're making solos very obvious in where they're at. You're bringing them out because that's the best currency they can make per hour. And then the guilds are just running around slaughtering people. And so ultimately, they're solving the right problem, but they're doing it the wrong way. So if you want people to go to the Outlands, the answer isn't to increase the rewards they can gain there. It's to decrease the chance of extremely unfair fights. If, no matter how good the rewards are, right, if I can make 10 million silver in 5 seconds in the Outlands, that doesn't matter as a solo or duo player, because in that 5 seconds, I will just get ganked by a huge group of people. Because the more rewards you give those solo players or those small group players, the greater incentive the gankers have to be out there, to be ganking all the time. And so the better the rewards get, the more likely I am to die anyway. And so I'm never, as a solo player, I'm not gaining more rewards. I am pretty much getting exactly the same amount of rewards that I normally would have gotten before, because now there are just more gankers. So even though I get back with more currency, I make it back fewer times, and so I'm losing more sets And so ultimately I'm only gaining as much as I normally would have made, which is actually a loss for me because I'm bad. But if you're good, then you're still only coming back with so much. So you haven't increased the rewards in the Outlands at all for solo players. You have only increased the rewards in the Outland for gankers. And they keep doing this. Every single time they make new content, they fail to understand that the more you reward the individual player, the more incentive you give people to not engage in the PvE content and to instead just kill people who are engaging in the PvE content and just take their stuff. And I mean, for example, I just lost almost 1 million silver. So even though there were like 6 people there, right, it didn't really take them very long to kill me. And they each shared 200k. Which is a decent amount of currency for killing one person. Depending on how often and how many people go out there, you know, they could be each making 1 million silver an hour, which is pretty decent. Depending on, you know, how many people go out there in better sets. You know, I'm going out there in about a 500-600k set, but there might be people going out there in million silver sets. And if that's the case, then those people are gaining them even more silver. And you think to yourself, I want to go out in a better set. So that's the other thing they did, is they increased the difficulty of the Outlands so that you need to be using higher tier sets when you go out there. And so because of that, you have also increased the risk for what equates to the same reward for those solo and small group players. Because it doesn't matter how good my gear is, I'm still going to die if 7 people attack me. And I could be 8.4 all the way, and they could be 6.2 all the way. There's 7 of them, there's 1 of me, I lose. That's just the way that works. And so you're forcing lower tier players, you're forcing solo and duo players, not lower tier players, but solo and duo players to risk greater amounts, which again incentivizes gank groups. And we've seen it since this Horizon patch has come out. When it first came out, I first started playing with it a few weeks ago. I mean, that's not when it first came out, but when I first started doing the Horizon patch a few weeks ago, there was nobody out here. I could go out into the Outlands and I could just free and clear farm away. And over the course of the last 2 or so weeks, people have started to understand more what's going on, and they've started to refine sort of the gank strategies and stuff. And now it's just a total gank box out there. I mean, it's a Monday in the middle of the day. In every zone that I've gone into, almost every zone that I've gone into, I've been attacked by a group of greater than 5 people. Which is absolutely insane. And so I absolutely want to see situations where solo PvP, you know, because that would have been a great fight if I had been able to fight just that one person, right? They were slightly higher IP than me. We had a good fight. They jumped me while I was fighting, which kind of sucks for me. I managed to try and bring it back. You know, and I was doing a good job, and I had a really good chance to beat that person, and that would have been a really fun experience. Except as soon as they started to lose, 6 more people showed up. And that's not fun. And even though all 6 of those people didn't actually hit me before I died, they only had 1 assist. Still, the reason I couldn't escape is because there were so many of them. That's that random person who tried to attack me. Yeah, I mean, it just creates a really bad dynamic. And so you want solo v solo. You want small group versus small group. And then you want big group versus big group. That's how you want your PvP to be playing out here. And you don't necessarily want to split it up. Right? You don't want the solos to be going into their own place like the mists. The mists were really great when they first came out, and people just started going into the mists. But that, I mean, that totally killed the outlands because there were no more people running solo dungeons. There were no more people going out into the outlands trying to gain currency and stuff because there was no reason. You had the mists, you could just go out there solo. So now in order to entice people out of the mists, we've created content that is drastically better as far as a currency per hour idea. And we've put that out in the outlands, and then we've pigeonholed people into escape sets, into, if you're going to play solo, then you're just running away. Even if it seems like it's going to be a fair fight, right? So I go out there and, I fought that person who was using that axe, and they were a little bit above me in IP, and they caught me off guard. But what I should have done, and what every solo should do in the Outlands, is run away, mount up, and leave. 100% of the time. You should never, ever assume that that's going to be a 1v1 fight. Because every single time, they have allies. And you're going to get killed. And so if you go out there solo into the Outlands to try and do the PvE content, to try and gain currency, you cannot also engage in PvP. And so you have to wear a set that is good for you to run away. So you're basically stuck with bladed staff or bloodletter or Avalonian fists. Those are the only 3 viable weapons out there because they're the best escape weapons, and you have to be able to escape. You have to be able to escape quickly, because if you don't escape quickly, then you'll get run down by mounts, and you can't escape mounts on foot, really. You have to get to a point where you can get mounted and then run away. So you're pigeonholing solos into a very small number of builds. You're pigeonholing them into a very specific playstyle, which is just to escape. And you're completely taking away the ability of solos and small groups to engage in PvP. And so you need to set up a system that allows for the entire game to be engaged with, no matter what type of play you're engaging in. So if I'm solo and I'm lower tier IP, if I'm running around solo in 4.1, I should have the ability to engage in every type of content. If I'm running around in 8.3 with 20 people, I should be able to engage in every type of content. If I'm running around in 6.1 as a duo, I should be able to engage in every type of content. And I should be able to do that against similar power. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be equal numbers, right? If you're a duo and you get jumped by 3 people, there's at least some chance there for counterplaying and playing really well and succeeding and having a good time. If you're one person and you get jumped by a duo, there's a little bit of a chance there to do something. If you're 10 people and you catch, 7 or 8 people off guard, there's at least some opportunity for play there. But if it's 7 people in 8.3 versus 1 person in 6.1, I don't actually think these people that just killed me were in 8.3. Let's see, they were, in about 7.1 gear. Just a little bit higher IP than me, with similar spec to me. So I mean, this wasn't a terribly uneven fight, right? I could have fought this if it had just been this person. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a change to the Outlands. There's got to be a change to the system. There's got to be some way to do, like, basically a dynamic matchmaking. And make it so that as a solo, I can see what's going on. Right? I want to be running around out there and I want to see a group of 3 going about their day. I want to see that group of 10 running through the zone to go get to a castle or whatever to do a siege. I want to see all that. But there's no reason that they should be able to kill me. Because that's insane. Or so barring that, if you want to make a game where grouping is the only way to succeed, right? So it's difficult to set things up where as a solo, I can engage in just solo PvP. As a duo, I can engage in just duo PvP. And as a trio, I can engage in just trio PvP. But it's difficult to set up a system that would accommodate that. So if that's the case, then you just have to make the game's rules say that you cannot go out there unless you have a full team. So there should be no ability to go into the Outlands without a full team, and there should be no ability to go into the Outlands with more than a full team. Or maybe you set it up as a raid, right? There's no ability to go into the Outlands with less than 20 people. Because then at least you're guaranteeing that those fights are equal. And so we're going to come right back to it because I talk about this all the time. The way you can set it up where you have a raid group with you, but you don't actually have to join a raid group, is to set up factions in the Outlands. Because if the factions exist in the Outlands, then I have a raid group. Right? All of my faction is out in the Outlands, so anybody who's in my faction in the Outlands is part of my group, can help me if I get attacked. And so I don't have to join a raid group. Just by entering the Outlands, I become a part of a raid group. And so as soon as I get attacked, and it's a huge raid group, right? Because factions are huge because there's only 6 of them or 5 of them or whatever. And so you're going to have people around who are in your faction, and the closer you are to your faction's portal city, the more of your people there are and the less of other people that there are. And so as you get into the higher quality zones where there's more risk and more reward, you start seeing a shift to where maybe you're a little more even, where maybe it's 60 your side, 40 the other side. And so then you could even increase the rewards again, where if you go into an enemy's territory and do your PvE content there, then you see an even greater return, even above and beyond the loot percentage of quality. And so the game is already very well set up to be that way. But if you just added factions to the Outlands, you would solve almost all of the problems that solos and small groups face, because you immediately make them a part of a bigger group. You give them people to team up with, right? Automatically. I can't team up with people and go to the Outlands unless I join a guild, because I will just get betrayed. Because somebody can just drop group and kill me. So unless I join a guild and then eventually trust those people, I can't join any teams in the Outlands. So I'm barred from that content unless I'm willing to just go out there and die. Which obviously I am, because I've been doing it for weeks now. I am not inherently a part of a social group. And so I have to seek a social group out. And because I need to seek a social group out to access content, that means that the social group has power in in the negotiation of whether or not I join, in the application process of me joining that social group, the fact that I need them to be able to access content, specifically to be able to access the content that is the best for currency making right now, gives them the ability to make demands of me because I need them to access things. And as soon as they start getting to make demands of me, you start getting toxic environments like we have right now in guilds, where those guilds are making huge demands of their player bases for time and currency and stuff like that for quote unquote the running of the guild, but it's all bullshit. It's all just the leaders of those guilds being subsidized by the rest of their members so that those members have a community to join so that they can go out and do some of this content. But if you just had a de facto community, right? I'm a member of the Fort Sterling faction. If I just had that community in the Outlands, then I don't need a guild. And so guilds lose that power. They can't make those demands, and they have to start creating incentives for people to come join their guilds. They have to be the best guild. They have to be supplying some form of content or some form of value that they're having to create in order to incentivize people to join them, instead of people having to create value to be allowed to join. And you have to have that dynamic because you cannot allow the leadership of guilds to be the most powerful players in the game and to be able to gatekeep content like that, because it gives them the ability to exploit other players. And that is horrible game design. If there's a system in your game that allows your guild leadership to exploit players for the privilege of being in a guild, then you made a bad game. And you need to fix it. This is not good. And it's a simple fix. You literally just carry the factions over into the Outlands. If members of my faction couldn't kill me, if it was just straight up impossible, then I would know for certain that I could team up with anybody in my faction and not get killed by them. Now, there is still, the spies and stuff like that, people joining a faction and then teaming up with people and going out and then telling other people exactly where those people are and how many people they have and what equipment they're using and stuff like that, and then just bringing people over from their actual faction, quote unquote, and killing them all. But even in a situation like that, I still have at least some potential safety, because if I have to, I can run from that fight in the direction of maybe some other members of my faction and hopefully get some assistance in that fight. So, it's not a perfect system, but it's drastically better than go out there by yourself, get ganked by huge groups of guilds. So, I don't know, I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. But this is getting frustrating. we still got a little bit of time left in today's morning stream. So let's get out there one more time.
Have a look.
Try and make a little currency here. 6.1. Alright, buy and equip.
Satisfied?
Fantastic. Let's get ourselves back out there. Give it the old college try here. Because I really do enjoy. So, this game is really good. The combat is really engaging. And the systems that they've been adding over time, right, all the way back from solo dungeons to open world dungeons to now these solo encampments and boss layers and the mists and the roads of Avalon, and I mean just on and on and on. So much quality content has been made in this game, and I really enjoy all of that content. And so I want to keep coming out here. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep playing the Outlands, but they make it almost impossible as a solo. And it is the game design that makes it that way. Right? You can blame the players all you want, and you can say, oh, well, you know, these players are just trash, and so they got to team up and fight solos and stuff like that. But, I mean, yeah, if the game is set up so that the best way to make currency is to get 5 people together and go kill a bunch of people running around solo, then that's exactly what you should do. Why would you do anything else? And so it is 100% a game design issue because you can fix that flaw. Right? It is not an inherent flaw of PvP MMOs. It is an inherent flaw of guild-driven PvP MMOs. New World had the same problem. EVE Online has the same problem. All of these games have been made in basically the exact same way, where they're trying to give players agency over governance, I guess. And in doing that, they create systems that give players control over other players, and not just like you can or cannot do this activity, but more of a, if you want to have access to this activity, we control access. And so it's not even you can or cannot do. They've literally created extortion systems in their games where you know, the leaders of these guilds and stuff like that are more like mob bosses than they are other players, or than they are leaders of any other kind. Right? They're forcing players to pay them protection money from themselves. Like, that's the oldest mob grift in the book. And they've created systems in this game that allow players to do that to other players, which is insane. the mob system isn't an interesting system, right? People don't want to be able to be extorted. Um, there are obviously a few players who enjoy being able to extort others, and from a perspective of winning the game, that's interesting because you can gain a lot more by extorting other players than you can by playing the game yourself. Right? If I can get 100 people to give me 10% of everything they make, or I'll chase them down and kill them every single time they leave the town, then I make 1,000% of what a single person can make. So, 5 of us could find 10 solos, completely independent of each other, right? So these solos don't know each other at all. In a sea of thousands, they would likely never find each other to identify that the same group of people is extorting them. But you could find, or even 100, sorry, not 10, you need 100. So 5 people could pick 100 out of the over 10,000 people who play on each server. And they could go talk to those people and say, okay, you need to give me 10% of everything you earn, or every time you go out of town, I'm going to kill you. Now, it'd be a little difficult to track down a person, but this is ultimately how these guilds operate in the Outlands when it comes to like where you can place your hideout and stuff like that, because they'll just smash your hideout because that's much easier to track. But then you say, if you want to be able to do anything out here, then you have to give me 10%. And so there's 5 of us, and so as a group of 5, we're making 1,000% of what a single individual could make simply by extorting people. Now, if the extortion works, right, if we spend a little time killing those people and then tell them, hey, we'll stop doing this if you give us 10%, you never have to go back to killing those people unless they tell you to piss off and stop giving you their 10%. And so now you're making this passive income off of these other players that you have extorted into paying you this quote-unquote protection money. And the likelihood that those 100 players are going to identify each other and band together to come fight you, because now they're just generally distrusting of other players anyway, right? Because they just got extorted by 5 random people. So even if you went up to them and said, hey, I'm also being extorted by these 5 people, let's group up and kill them, they have no reason to believe you. Right? I have no reason to believe that you're not just one of those random people who, wants to party up with me and pretend to join a party or whatever together, and then kill me when we go into the Outlands. Right? So there are already so many random options of how people can abuse the system to take advantage of me that I now can't even trust the people who would most likely help me out of my current situation. So those 100 people are never going to band together to kill my 5. And if they do, then, I just go get another person and now I have 6. Or I go get 2 more people, or I go get 5 more people, or, I stop extorting that person and say, okay, I'll stop taking 10% of your earnings and I'll stop killing you. And then I just go extort some other person who doesn't know. And unless that person is actively going to seek that new person out that I'm extorting and try and bring them into the fold of people who are being protected, then, I replace my income almost instantly, and it doesn't even matter. We got a rare chest here with a little over 100k in it. And it's only when groups get so infamous on the server that everybody knows who they are that you ever find yourself in a position Silly goose. Oh my gosh, how many of you are there? This is so ridiculous, dude. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Fuck. Ah. Well, that's going to be the end of today's stream. It was a heroic effort to not get killed over and over again. But unfortunately, the structure of this game's PvP system is total ass. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody who jumped in the chat, or anybody who lurked the stream. I really appreciate it. We will be back on later on tonight for our regular time. And honestly, I don't want to switch games again, but I don't know if I can keep playing Albion because the same thing is just going to keep happening. And there is no way around it unless I just want to go play Mists. And I don't want to switch games because that's bad for the channel. And I do like Albion. It's a good combat system. They have interesting content. It is a good game. But then they bar you from accessing that content and playing that content because their system is trash. And so I can't. It's making me angry. So we're going to get off right now. We'll be back on for our later stream tonight. And yeah, thanks a lot. I hope everybody has a good